Thank you.
All right. Well, 1 in 10 Americans haven't contributed to their retirement accounts either this year or last. Some say that is a disturbing trend. That's the highest number in more than 4 years, according to a new study from Bankrate.com. I want to bring in Bankrate.com Chief Financial Analyst Greg McBride in a Fox Business exclusive. Thanks, Greg, for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so what's the trend overall that you're seeing as far as Americans saving for retirement?
The news is actually a little bit better this year. I mean, we actually find that about 1 in 5 Americans is actually saving more for retirement this year than they did last year. That's the highest that it's been in 4 years. On the flip side, the percentage of Americans that are saving less this year than they were last year has been steadily falling. It's less than half of the level now.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think things like auto enrollment and auto escalation in 401k plans certainly helps. That gets new employees automatically into the plan. They don't have to choose to have money come out of their paycheck. It's automatically taken out. And then every year thereafter, the percentage that they're deferring is increased 1 percentage point. So I think those things really help. And then you look at the broader economic environment, more people are working, more people are in a position where they are saving for retirement as opposed to a few years ago when money was particularly tight.
And by the way, what demographic are you surveying when you're asking this question?
It's the nationally representative sample. So it's a telephone poll.
So no particular trends with this millennial generation that everybody loves to pick on?
Well, you know what? We actually see a lot of really good numbers with the millennials. I mean, they got the memo on the importance of saving. We see it with regard to emergency savings. We see it with regard to retirement savings. They're saving. The problem with millennials, particularly when it comes to retirement savings, they are overly conservative. They favor cash more so than any other. And
I've heard that so much, by the way, Kevin. I think that maybe even you or somebody recently pointed out that the millennial generation hasn't yet reached peak spending. And in many cases, they have been more conservative and are saving more.
Yeah, millennials like to actually spend on food and some simple luxuries, but actually be conservative, including living with their parents, right? And then being renters. Right. But I think the real question is, since 2009, we haven't seen really any wage growth. Is that playing into why we're not seeing more being saved? I mean, we've seen asset prices inflate, but we haven't seen wage growth.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's the missing ingredient in terms of this economic recovery, and it's why we have this perpetually slow growth economy, right? I mean, we can't kick this into a higher gear until the consumer starts to spend. Well, consumers not spending more because they don't have extra money to play around with, right? They don't have it to spend. They don't have it to save either. And
what's an economy where we don't have that, you know, those extra few bucks that are getting spent here and there? By the way, the big shocker, 19% of working Americans are saving more for retirement now than they were a year ago. That's the big number that we need to focus on, right?
It is, and that's the highest it's been. It's been steadily trending higher, so some positive developments there. And if we get that wage growth, I think that number goes even higher.
All right, it all ties together. Greg McBride, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right.